Howdy, folks. This is Pete McPherson from Do You Even Blog, coming at you as part of the Podcasting for Beginners course. This is a small little email course set up over 4 quarters, just like a football game. It's completely free. It teaches people how to use podcasting for blog growth. And without further ado, this is part of the third lesson, the third quarter of the Podcasting for Bloggers game. And we're going to talk about podcasting philosophy. So what on earth do I mean by that? Podcasting philosophy? What is going on? So let's talk about a few of the most well-known podcasts, specifically in the business and entrepreneurship space. Let's talk about the Tim Ferriss Show. So Tim Ferriss is a New York Times bestselling author, blah, blah, blah. He has one of the best podcasts on iTunes. And he publishes very long, usually more than 45 minutes, almost always between an hour and 2 hours, sometimes even 2.5 hours, interviews with other people. They're super, super deep. He doesn't do a ton of editing. It's very conversational in nature. No sound effects, no background music, etc. All right, switch gears. John Lee Dumas has Entrepreneur on Fire, another massively successful business podcast. His episodes are much shorter, 10 to 15 minutes max. He publishes them every day, whereas Tim only publishes maybe once or twice a week. And it's a pretty specific format. So there's intro, an ad, question for the entrepreneur of the day that John Lee Dumas talks to. And then that's it. Another ad maybe, and he wraps up. All right, let's switch gears even more to one of my favorite new podcasts, produced by LinkedIn co-founder Reid Hoffman. It is called Masters of Scale, and it is highly, highly produced. So there is interviews, there is just re-talking, there's sound effects, there's background vocals, people singing, there's music, it's a story, it's a whole experience, and they're medium length. And it's part of a season too, right? So all those 3 podcasts are really great. They're all business and entrepreneurship related, but they're very, very different in terms of the philosophy, how people imbibe the content, if that makes any sense. It's a lot different. Some have sound effects, some have music, some have interviews, some have just one person talking head-esque. So the question is, how are you going to present your podcast? And I have a personal opinion on this. I'm not going to leave it completely up to you because you're taking my free podcast course. I am actually going to give you my opinion, and you have to note, this is a warning right here. Ready? This opinion that I'm about to share with you on how you should run your podcast is because of the fact that you are probably a beginner. You're not John Lee Dumas. You're not Tim Ferriss. You're not Reid Hoffman for sure. Or at least I don't think you are. Are you? If so, email me and give me cash. You're not those people. So I want to give you what you can do to succeed. Whatever you do to have the highest chance of actually being consistent and seeing growth with your blog and with your podcast, I want to help you do that. So all that said, that was a very long intro. Here is my opinion on how you should go about producing your podcast. Ready? Here it is. Super casual. That's it. That's my entire philosophy. Super casual. This means try to get things done in 1 take, 2 takes max. I am recording this right now. You're hearing my voice. This is the first take of me recording this, and I'm not going to do a second. I don't care if I screw up a few words. I don't care if I hesitate for a few seconds like this. I don't care. This is my first take. It's going to be super conversational and casual. And the reason I think this is so incredibly beneficial is because it takes time to edit. It takes time to learn how to engineer audio, especially if you want a really great podcast. It takes a lot of time to go back through little snippets like this, even 5-minute long little audio clips. It takes a long time to edit. And so the fewer takes you can do, the better. That just saves you time. Okay, well, here's another very important point. You ready? This takes a little bit of getting used to. We want to make things perfect. Bloggers, entrepreneurs in general, we want to have the best possible content, the best possible product, and doing everything in 1 take is going to be hard, especially when you first start. You record your very first episode, you're not going to want to do it in 1 take. You're going to want to make it great. I know you. I feel that coming through my computer screen from you right now. But do it anyways. You will thank yourself in the long run. What that will do is going on the first take or the second take max, But otherwise, just being super casual about your recording and your editing, engineering, that sort of thing. Not only is it going to save you time, but it's just going to be easier. You will get used to that process. You will get used to just doing everything like I'm doing on the first take, and then hopefully, making it listen worthy. Whatever that word is that I was searching for. Hopefully make it good enough where people will listen and get some value out of it. So to sum up, really quick, this is my podcasting philosophy. I think you should try and record as much as you possibly can in 1 to 2 takes max. This is going to save you so much time, and I think you should edit the least amount as possible. If you have something that you absolutely need to take out, of course, go edit it out. If you just absolutely sound terrible on your first take, of course, scratch it, start again. But try to be as casual as possible. I think your listeners will appreciate this. We don't need to be super, super overproduced, engineered like the Reid Hoffman Show or even the John Lee Dumas Entrepreneur on Fire show. We don't have to be like those people. We want to hear your voice. We want to hear your content, your advice, whatever you blog about, whatever you podcast about. Saving time is key, especially if you have another blog that this is in connection with. Save your time, be casual, limit the editing, try to get things on the first or second take. That is my podcasting philosophy, and I think it is the best philosophy for newbie beginner podcasters. That's all. If you want to find out more about this course, you can go to doyouevenblog.com/podcasting-for-bloggers, podcasting for bloggers. And you can find this free email course. It's super great. We'll see you next time. Pete out.